Focus then, and in the past there have been gas wars between Russia and Ukraine. This month has seen a chocolate war as Russia banned imports from Ukraine's favourite confectioner. It even went as far as temporarily imposing such strict condition checks on all Ukrainian goods that exports, well, really they became unviable. But why is Russia doing it? Well, the country is piling pressure on Ukraine to give up on any European ambitions. Ukraine is due to sign a trade deal with the EU this November, something Russia and Vladimir Putin wants to stop, perhaps at any cost. Van Kat's Gulliver Cragg reports now from Kiev.
After a costly few days, customs blockages have now been lifted for most Ukrainian exporters to Russia. But Eurasian chocolate remains banned, officially on sanitary grounds. Journalists touring the company's factory last week suspect the real reason Eurasian has been singled out is that its owner also owns a TV channel.
Putin realizes that he's losing the information war, so he's now targeting the owners of TV channels here via their other businesses.
Eurasian's management, who fear huge losses from the Russian ban, were more diplomatic, but equally clear that this is a political, not a sanitary issue.
The Russian export market is very important for us, and we believe that negotiation between government of Ukraine and Russia will bring some quick and fast results.
It seems Russia wanted to give Ukraine a foretaste of the pain its economy would endure if it signs with Brussels and rejects a customs union with Moscow. Ukrainian politicians have dismissed these tactics as bullying and bluff. But some economists believe the EU deal could do serious harm to Ukraine. Vsevolod Stepanyuk says exports to Russia could fall by more than 10% without Europe picking up any slack.
Business conditions are worse in Ukraine than in Europe, which means Ukrainian business cannot make products that will be competitive on the European market, especially not in the high-tech sector.
Pro-European analysts, meanwhile, admit there will be losses in the short term, but say in the long run, Ukraine can become competitive.
When we talk about the free trade agreement with the European Union, it's about adopting European regulations and standards in Ukraine. It's about improving the business climate and attracting FDI, foreign direct investments, from the European Union, which would in turn enable us to produce new goods.
Aside from economic pressure and persuasion, the Kremlin has also been stressing Ukraine's cultural and religious ties to Russia. Vladimir Putin was here last month to celebrate 1,025 years since Vladimir the Great baptized Kiev and Rus and established Christianity across the region. Today, there are two rival Ukrainian Orthodox churches, one ruled by the Moscow Patriarchate, the other independent.
The Russians think that Ukraine's independence is a historic mistake and expect that sooner or later Ukraine will return to them.
The Kiev Patriarchate rejects that idea.
We are categorically against all attempts to bring us back into the Russian Imperium on the pretext of brotherly unity and shared history. We've been there before. We know what it means for Ukraine.
Some Ukrainians are convinced by the Russian arguments.
We've got more in common with Russia than we have with Europe. Guys, seriously.
Nevertheless, according to polls, a clear majority prefers the idea of European integration.
In my circle of friends, everyone thinks Ukraine is part of Europe, and that's how it should be. We don't understand how we're any worse than Bulgaria or Romania.
One big bone of contention remains between Ukraine and the West, however. President Viktor Yanukovych has so far refused to release the former Prime Minister Yulia Tymoshenko, serving jail time on what Brussels says are politically motivated charges. The deputy leader of her party, though, says he's confident this issue will be resolved soon.
Yanukovych doesn't have a choice. If this isn't sorted out now, he will lose the election in 2015 no matter who the opposition candidate is, and then Yulia Tymoshenko will be released anyway.
If neither Europe's leaders nor Viktor Yanukovych soften their stance on Yulia Tymoshenko, they will be handing Russia's Vladimir Putin a victory he sorely craves.